Harry Morgan has always wanted Dexter to do the right thing, but did Dexter, in the end, do the wrong thing? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It's time to review Dexter Season 7, Episode 6. We're at the halfway point. This one was called Do the Wrong Thing, and it may appear that Dexter, in the end, perhaps did do the wrong thing, because despite having Hannah on his table, he decided that he was not going to impale her with his knife, and he impaled her with something else, brother.
He did, absolutely, but I tell you what, there's a lot of people that's been on Dexter's table that I would have liked to have seen spared. Is Hannah one of them? I mean, not per se. I mean, you look at his own brother, could he have spared him?
Oh yeah, why not, you know?
If he's willing to spare Hannah, why not spare Rudy? But obviously plot purposes, like, I don't know, could Rudy really live? Here, I would have paid money to see them tag team after that wee cameo.
I would have been a bit more freaked out though if he cut the plastic off the Trinity Killer and started making it with him.
That would have. I mean, that would have ruined Dexter.
That would have, season 4 would have been. That would have been flushed in the toilet.
Season 4,
season entire series would have been shit. Anyway, we start. Dexter. He's not happy. All he can think about is basically Hannah, but not like that. He basically thinks that she lied to him and that she is a killer, and now he wants her on his table. Harry is not convinced. Harry's like, oh, well, there could be reasons here. She might not have done this, she might not have done that, but listen, Dexter, if he knows, he knows, and in this case, everything is leading to her being a killer. He does some investigating. Her ex-husband died, and he was relatively, I mean, he was young enough, like, was he not, what age was he? Was he not 60?
40.
40?
Aye.
Alright, well, I'll tell you what, that's still way younger than fucking Hannah McKay. It almost seemed like she married some... Is that what age he was? 40?
Aye, he was 40, aye.
Can you recall that?
Yeah, she's definitely said he was 40.
You have a great memory, because I don't. But
well,
like,
she's 40, isn't she?
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, she's 15 when she's done those murders and got 6 years, so she would have got out at 21. Is she
15... Yeah, but those kills were 15 years ago.
Alright, well, I mean, that maybe makes sense, but her husband just magically dying, and then the woman that owned the flower...
Beverly.
The Beverly, she dies and just happened to leave everything to Hannah in her will. Bit convenient.
But Hannah, she bathed her, she cleaned her, she got her meds. She was the only one close enough, though.
Yeah, now, I mean, Dexter thinks that the husband dying at 40 with a heart attack, he's like, that's just, it doesn't happen. But Harry reminds him that, hey, heart disease is the biggest killer in America.
Got me.
It got me, buddy.
I got a cheap pop out of me, I tell you.
I still want to know if it was heart disease that got Harry.
Well, here he fucking said it was, didn't he?
Yeah, but what? Because Dirty Harry has no secrets.
I want to see a world where Harry gets stuck in the real world and he's no longer the dark passenger and he's back. There's like a glitch in the Matrix.
The dark passengers, you know, like the light passenger?
True. Well, the Dexter not refer to him as the dark passenger, though.
No, the dark passengers was got that's Dexter's own.
Yeah, but Harry, what is Harry then?
He's the guy that Dexter believes fed the dark passenger.
Aye, but hold on though. He turned around and said that what do you call him? Meat Parcel was Travis's dark passenger, and it was kind of parallel with Harry being his. I think Harry to a degree is Dexter's like dark passenger.
Well, he's certainly not driving anymore. He is a passenger. He's just sitting there, and he's getting taken for a ride.
Tell you what, though, I think the way they brought Rudy back, I think they could definitely do that with other characters in the show. But I think they've almost wasted an opportunity. Maybe Dokes could come back, right? I don't know what the actor was doing, but you pointed out the guy hasn't really done much. I think they've missed a trick. I think they've missed a trick, no, bringing Dokes back in some capacity.
Yeah, I don't know why Dokes has not came back. We do get introduced to Sal Price in this episode, and he is a writer who has been writing on the... What's the guy, what Hannah's ex called again? Wayne, aye. So he did...
Wayne.
He basically did a book on the Wayne. He's trying to get a date with Debra. Dexter acts like a big fan. Dexter wants a scoop on the upcoming book. And Sal tells him that he believes that Hannah could be a killer.
He seems like a more interesting version of the guy that went to the gym in season 2, but he doesn't give me a whole lot of... I mean, he's not boring, but I just don't really care about him.
The Dexter's like, yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there's not really much there with the blood work and the death of the bodies. But Sal's like, don't worry, I've got my own guy. And then this Dexter's like, fucking shit, he's going to see that his own guy is going to show up my work because I've on purposely put it down to not reveal Hannah as a killer, whereas Sal Price's guy does do an autopsy and he comes to the conclusion that it was Hannah that killed this woman. So there you go. And
Dexter's lies are catching up to him.
And surely that's. And then later when we see Sal Price on that date with Debra, when he reveals that, surely she must be thinking, well, that's another case that Dexter's thrown or lied about.
Yeah, because she knows Dexter's red hot when it comes to this stuff. Apart from when he's sabotaging it. So, honestly, man, when Dexter was taking Hannah on a date later on, I thought they were going to rock up into the same fucking restaurant as Debra and Sal, which would have been very fucking awkward. Extremely awkward.
That's a missed opportunity, though. That would have been pretty good there. But yeah, we do see multiple scenes with Hannah and Dexter. She accuses him of stalking her, but he says, you're the one that came to my house. So they eventually do agree to go on a date. Batista tries to tell Quinn that he is thinking about retiring, but Quinn, being the selfish prick that he is, doesn't give a fuck. He basically kind of says, not now, Batista. Masuka overhears and says, what, you're retiring? And then basically grasses on him as soon as Debra comes down the corridor.
Masuka's jobbing Batista out here, man.
Thoughts on it?
You need to keep this low. I mean, if say Batista was thinking about retiring, you keep it in-house. Why? I don't. I mean, is it out of pocket for Masuka? Not really. Is a bit of a loudmouth, but tell you what, Quinn, he's jobbing clean out here. No. I feel like it's almost like the degrees. Oh, look, I used to be dirty. I used to accept her money, and now he's diving straight in over some stripper. Like, why? I'm not saying he hasn't developed feelings for this Nadia, but he's went straight in again, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, it feels like every season Quinn's got like a new fucking love interest. He needs to reel it in.
No, definitely there. So, yeah, Nadia could be in trouble.
Do we care though? No, not really.
No, not really. She gets in Quinn's car. Quinn says that there's the money. She looks at it, says, when you said you were a dirty cop, I thought you were kidding. And he goes, no, I'm not a dirty cop. I'm a good cop. But I am a bit dirty. Quinn decides he's not going to take the money. He gives it back to George.
No, but see, think of it, right? We're led to believe here that what Quinn's doing now is actually worse than what he did in the past. I would actually argue what he did in the past is much worse, because in the past he accepted money to let them away with dealing drugs. Here, he is just losing blood work to get Isaac out of jail. You maybe think, well, yeah, that's getting him out of jail on murders, but you know what? What Isaac did was genuinely self-defense against three scumbags. Even if Isaac himself is a scumbag. I mean, what's honestly worse? Continuing to facilitate the usage of like drugs and the selling of drugs, or getting him off with an actual case of self-defense? I know what's worse.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, when you break it down, what Quinn did in the past for me is way worse, but they kind of built it this episode like, oh, his conscience, he doesn't know what he's doing here.
Batista is out with Jamie on a lunch date or something like this. I don't know, dinner.
There's loads.
He asks her if she's heard from Lewis. She says no, and then she proceeds to bash Lewis and says, what a creep. Can't believe he was sleeping with hookers. Who does that? It's absolutely disgusting. And at this point, Batista's sitting there on double one. He's like, yeah, that is disgusting.
Who does that? I've never done that.
Knowing that he's done it, he then brings up...
I sleep alone.
He then brings up the restaurant that he's planning to maybe buy it. She disapproves, though, and says that you'd be making a mistake. You can barely afford to pay rent. You're running about in a crappy vehicle. Just basically... sabotaging her brother here. It's just like, no, you can't retire here. You're financially, shit, and your life's not great. You need that job.
Where's he plucking the money from then if he's skint? It was fucking hard.
Well, I mean, if he retires, maybe he gets a bonus, like a pension or something.
That is true.
A lump sum.
Well, what age is Batista supposed to be here?
I am assuming he is
like 50?
pushing 50.
It's not really a retirement age, is it?
No, but he did mention he's been there 20 years, and I think after 20 years the option is to retire from the force.
No, but he points it to Debra. He's like, oh, I've given a lot of years to the police.
20?
I haven't really had a life outside of it. I don't know, Batista, mate. You're fucking always in the bar. Bowling, drinking, sleeping around. it's like, remember like the early seasons though, like he did have some form of relationship with his daughter and his ex-wife.
Well, he said he hasn't seen his daughter, and
Yeah, but
can't remember the last time he's seen her.
But why we? I mean, Dexter's literally a fucking, part-time blood splatter analyst.
Full-time serial killer.
Yeah, so why can't he make the effort to see his kid?
I know, because Dexter makes some effort at least to see Harrison.
Speaking of Harrison, what the fuck is it?
Where is Harrison? Who knows? Anyway, I thought this was a decent wee scene here. We then see George visit Isaac in jail after Isaac snapped the wrist of some Colombian guy, basically threatened him, saying, "Here,
100 guys here in the Nava.
Yeah, you might outnumber me in here, but we outnumber you out there, and basically, if you mess about with me, we can end your whole crew out there." So the Colombians kind of back off. On the sit-down, George says, "We've got some bad news, that Quinn gave the money back, that he's not on their side anymore." But Isaac says that can't happen, you need to get him on our side. And Isaac warns George, "Do not disappoint me." So, I mean, it's clear here that Isaac's the leader of this this brotherhood.
He's running things, but Quinn's arse quickly folds at dinner when it turns out something's happened to Nadia. What's happened to Nadia?
Yeah, so Quinn arranges to go to dinner for Nadia, table for two. He gets there, the waiter says, your date, so your fellow companion's already sitting down. Quinn walks in, and to his surprise, it's not Nadia, it's George. And George basically says, "Look here, we need you. You were good for us in the past. You can be good for us again. If you don't, then maybe we'll transfer Nadia to one of our sex clubs in Dubai, and she might last a couple of weeks before killing herself." Quinn's pissed off, then pretty much agrees to do it, and since George is a good guy, yeah, he decides to tell Quinn here he can keep the 10k as well. So, Quinn is...
He's in.
Yeah, he's took the money. He's took a bribe.
It's naive. Like, I mean, you start a relationship with a stripper in a club that's connected to the death of Mike Anderson and a crew that you've took money off before, and you think you're just going to get away with it scot-free. Pass up the money. They've got dirt on him, and he's got a bit of dirt on them that some people don't know. But at the end of the day, I mean, what was he expecting of this relationship with Nadia? It's not like he kept it behind closed doors and no one knew about it. He's literally dropping her off to work every single day, and they're seeing him.
No, I agree.
I mean, I like Quinn as a character, but he's massively flawed, and not from like a character sense, just in terms of like the person that he is. It's like, I feel like they've almost just put this in here to give him something to do this season.
No.
Or else he'd be doing fuck all.
Agreed. What's your thoughts on Jörg?
Jörg just stands there like a bit of a retard, doesn't he?
He does give me that Hitman Killer 47 vibes.
He also gives me the vibes of the guy at Hot Fuzz, the big retard in the supermarket. Who's played by... He plays... what do you call him in... The Hound? He's the Hound.
Oh, right, huh?
Game of Thrones.
Oh, right, there you go. You learn something new every day. Maria brings up the Barrow Girl killer. She believes that the Bay Harbour Butcher may have been responsible for that, and he may have helped one of the victims kill that gang. Debra tries to downplay it and, rubbish it, because obviously she doesn't want Maria getting any closer to the real Bay Harbour Butcher, so she's just trying to put Maria off the scent. But, I don't know, Maria, for the first time in 7 seasons, seems to be actually doing a bit of detective work.
And she is, and
I guess it is personal for her, though, because if she does find the real Bay Harbour Butcher, it clears Dokes. But at the end of the day, I think the damage is done to Dokes, isn't it? Well, first of all, he's dead. He ain't coming back for that. And he's always going to be associated with the Bay Harbour Butcher.
How the tables have turned, though, because it's for so long, it's been Debra pushing closed cases and trying to reopen them and get to the real truth, and we've got to shut them down now. Debra wants this to stay closed because of Dexter.
Yeah, we see Quinn go into the Evans room and he takes out the blood, so at that point, that's him done it. He's a dirty cop.
He's done it. He's a dirty cop. I don't know how he's going to redeem himself for this.
Yeah, Dexter and Hannah then go to a closed holiday amusement park, and he takes her into this room where there's snow falling, and I guess that was her dream. She wanted to see snow, and when she's distracted, he injects her with the M99, sets up a kill room. She wakes up, and Dexter is saying, "When I said I wanted to take you out, this is what I meant." So he meant not take you out on a date. He wanted to take you out. But she doesn't seem that bored, to be fair. She's like, do what you got to do. And then, I don't know, maybe Dexter didn't really like this. Because, to be honest, I can't really recall many kills where Dexter, this victim, isn't like fearing or pleading for their life. There's some that have accepted it, and I think well, he tried to buy his way originally, didn't he?
He did, and then he's like, is there anything I can do to get you not to kill me? Just, no. And then he's like, alright.
I'll get it over with then. I mean, Trinity wasn't really begging, but he had to kill Trinity. Couldn't let Trinity go.
Miguel wasn't really begging.
He was just saying, I'm going to fucking
Point
kill
is,
you.
though, none of those guys had tits, so maybe that's Dexter's conundrum here.
True.
Well, maybe Trinity had tits. He can't have 64-year-old probably
Pretty
did.
big ones. Anyway, Dexter probably prefers Hannah's. He cuts her, but not like that. He cuts the plastic and allows her to get free, and then they have sex, and it looks like, I don't know, it looks like Dexter's forgiven Hannah for being a killer. I mean, he doesn't even know right now that if she is a killer or not, but you know what? He's a killer, so who's he to judge, really?
Wayne set him up. Oh, that's it. Well, I mean, she killed people that don't meet the code. Tell you what, though, it's almost like...
No, but what if there was another person like Dexter who was a serial killer that had the exact same code? Could this guy not kill Dexter because he
kills people?
What if someone's seen him kill Rankin and went, well, you know what? And Jonathan Farrell, could he not be like, well, that's it. You have to go, Dexter. Your code's broken, so therefore
theoretically, yeah, that could happen. But I tell you what, I feel like Hannah's just seems like a better version of Lumen.
Yeah, definitely. Just more likable, and maybe not even likable, but less annoying, less irritating.
Yes.
I mean, Hannah's on the screen, I don't feel like turning it off. Every time Lumen was on the screen, it was just like, ugh.
It would be interesting if you could actress swap them and put Hannah in Lumen's place in 5 and Lumen in her place in 7 to see if that would drastically change your outlook of it. But yeah, that's hypothetical shit, brother. I can't do that.
Anyway, rating time for Do the Wrong Thing.
I do think it's probably the weakest episode of the season so far.
I actually agree with that. I'm going to give it a 6.
I think it took... I would say it did take a massive step back.
I think we need Isaac out of jail.
And Quinn's obviously on the way of doing that, but I don't think it's Hannah's fault, but I do feel like Dexter spent a bit too much time with her here.
Yeah,
it just went on
I think it was overkill, and there was a lack of Dexter and the Koshka Brotherhood, so to speak, so yeah. But anyway,
I'll give a 6 as well.
Quinn told Nadia he's a good cop, but he also likes money. Well, we're good YouTubers, but we like money too. So if you want to become a member, guys, you can do that. You can become a sub of Anarchy or a member Mayhem MC.
What's the other one?
Mayhem member MC.
That's no bad.
Anyway, guys, that is it. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, 6 out of 10. Peace.